Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing out there this evening? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk for Real Men. I am your host, Lee Black, and welcome to the show. Welcome to midweek as well. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. It's like it when we make it to, hump day. It means that we got the week on the run, and welcome to the show. And so hopefully we have a great time tonight. Let me bring in my co-host before I set sail on what the evening entails. This is Mick Mac. What's going on, Tasha? What's going on?
Going on, Black? How are you?
Oh, sweetie, I'm here. I'm having a few technical difficulties, but I'm here. How are you doing?
Let's just get this shit over with now.
All right, folks. Well, we know where her mood is at. We know where your mood is at.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Well, we will do our best, Mick Mac, to get this party cracking for sure. But how are you doing otherwise?
I'm all right. Another day down, another work day down. So that's always good. We're closer to Friday than we are Monday. So there we go.
Absolutely. So we're gonna do our best, and hopefully, I won't have too many technical difficulties to kill the show. Otherwise, I see we got Carol, the
Carol.
super fan, in the place.
Mhm.
We got Cuzzo Terrence in the place. What's going
Oh,
on?
Karen.
And Miss Carol says hello, Terrence. And so I'll tell you right now, this. Well, before I get into that, welcome to the show. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. You can find our show on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and look for me on YouTube and Facebook under Real Talk for Real Men. And always, please subscribe. I definitely still continue to need support, no doubt about that. And my show is under the TFG Families umbrella. And so don't forget to subscribe to TFG in general. And I actually am kind of the head runner on one of the channels called TFG Ratchet, which if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the notification bells, I go live pretty much whenever I feel like it. So I pretty much talk about whatever the hell suits me throughout the course of the week. And so you're missing some great content if you're not subscribing to TFG, because there's so much more than just my show, my fuckery and foolishness. But of course, you do get my unique take on things if you subscribe to the channel, to the show, and hit the notification bell. So as I said, we're live every Wednesday and every Saturday. And so, being that we on Eastern Standard Time, on Wednesdays we air at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Saturdays we air at 7, but I'm seriously considering moving it to 8 as well. I just haven't made my mind up yet. So appreciate you guys. And while I'm waiting for a couple of members of the family, I'm also testing out, because on my other screen, I'm on my work computer, and I keep getting a virus notification. So if it continues, I don't know how much we're going to be able to go through with the show, but we're going to do our best. As always, I try to orchestrate this in real time. What's going on, Kennard? How you doing? And so I want to be able to pull this up, and hopefully we can be able to pull this off and have a fantastic show. But in case you're wondering, what in the hell are we talking about tonight? And that's where I'm having trouble with this article. We're talking about dating. Of course, my show, in case you don't know, it's always all about dating and the relationship between men and women. And I want to talk about some harsh truths that a lot of times we don't face when it comes to modern day dating. And let me be
Mm.
the first to say that we're no experts here. In fact, the co-host and myself, we're both single people. And for a large part of last year and even currently now, we're not actively dating. We're not even in the scene. So by no means are we trying to come across as experts. And Tasha, what do you want to add to that?
No, I completely agree. No, I think this is just a look, and you get some insight into what we may feel in our experiences, individual experiences as far as dating and relationships goes. But yeah, no, this is not what you should and should not do. That is not what type of podcast this is. It's never been that. It will
Nope.
never be that, because
Nope.
people don't have all the answers.
Absolutely.
We just having a talk. That's it.
Absolutely. Our unique perspective, and the one rule that we've always followed, and I mean always, is we agree to disagree without being disagreeable.
Mhm.
And that's what I think makes this platform special for me to attend, is that I don't show up expecting agreement. I show up each and every week looking forward to a different perspective than my own. And Tasha always keeps me grounded because she's highly intelligent and she's going to speak her mind. And I really can say that for all of my guests. There's very unique personalities that come onto my platform, and even the viewers.
Hmm.
Carol, Toria, Terrence. I invite anybody to share their views with us as well. So we're going to talk about some harsh truths in modern dating. And Tasha, I'm going to make an attempt to get this party started. If it's just you and I, we will have
Okay.
this conversation, and it will last for however long it lasts. So let me pull up the first one. And these are things that I found interesting. And as I talk about them, as we discuss them, I want to know if you feel like it's true, and what part does this play in facing the harsh truth about modern day dating. Modern day dating. So the very first one that came up is under the banner is people lie. People lie. And I'm gonna ask opinion on first, and some I'll read the caption first, because then we'll talk about it. But on this one, I want to read this first, Tasha, as we talk about this. It says, face it, no matter how honest someone appears, there is more reward through lying when you first meet. If you don't accept everything you hear as the truth, you will give yourself some time. Down the line, you may see the truth for yourself, which is far better than words. What do you think about this part, Tasha, facing the harsh reality that people lie? Agree, disagree? What do you think about this?
I definitely agree. But, like, here's the thing with the whole people lie thing. You can choose to believe them, because again, this more than likely, if you're dating someone, it may be somebody that you're just meeting, just being introduced to. You really don't know them, so if you just want to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt, but you have to understand, there's a certain percentage that they're lying to you about. Whatever percentage that you need to make okay in your mind, that you can justify and be okay with in your mind, fine. But nobody is giving you like the 100% truth, even when you ask that of them.
I
Sometimes
love.
they do it under the guise of, like wanting to like spare your feelings. As we all know and watching on TikTok, I don't know if everybody's seen it, but Risa Tissa's story about who the fuck did I marry? That's a prime example of people lie.
Tasha and I had an extensive conversation about this last night because I wasn't aware of it. And the depth under which the person lied, we had a full conversation on how does somebody get away with that. And I'm glad you brought up percentages, and welcome to the show, Aaron. I appreciate you, my brother. And please, viewers, comment on this as well, because Carol says, I agree. When you meet someone, it's their representative, not who they really are. And I've been saying that for the longest, Carol. I truly believe that. So the question then, Tasha, is what percentage do you take a person at face value? Because that's going to vary from individual to individual. How much are you okay with accepting going into it when you meet somebody? If you had to put a percentage on it, when this person is putting their best foot forward, and as Carol said, you're meeting their representative, just ideally, what do you think this person is? 50% honest? Where does your percentage fall for you?
Oh, I'm super skeptical. I assume like everybody's lying most of the time anyway. So I'm
Okay.
gonna assume most of the shit that people are saying, especially like on first dates, 70% of what they're saying is a lie. 70% is they're lying about.
Wow. Wow. I agree. I actually agree. And what's more, I'm okay with it. I've always accepted and believed that, like Carol says, I'm not meeting that real person.
Hmm.
If you're showing up to meet me, whether we're going out at my home or whatever, my assumption is that's not how you look every day.
Hmm.
That's not how you are. You're showing up, and that's who you want me to see. And yeah, brother Kennard says 70%. Woohoo. I'm with Tasha. And I don't know if that makes us, I don't know what the fuck
Oh,
that makes us.
I'm very mistrusting of people, but that's my experience though. I've been burned in a way from that. I just assume everybody's lying, even when it's not necessary. Even when it's not necessary.
And,
So,
and that's why I say I think I'm okay with it, because I think ultimately at the beginning we're playing chess. She wants something, I want something, which I'm gonna come to the next one of it. But Aaron says Brenton Haynes starts everyone at zero. I'm not that, I don't know if that's trusting. No, for me, you start at a percentage. To me, you start very up high with me
Mm-hmm.
that she's lying to me. You know, honestly, for me, Aaron, that percentage goes down the longer I get to know the person because I feel like the layers are going to get peeled back. Ultimately, as I get to know her, then I'm going to start to see the things. And the other part is, I think for men, we're more visual anyway, where women are listening to everything that we say. And I'm not as paying attention to the lies that the woman is telling them anyway. Aaron says, what is it that makes people not want to be their authentic self? That's an even bigger question, Aaron, and we could have to go down that rabbit hole. I don't. I think it's a combination of things. In my belief, I think a lot of it is upbringing. It's inherent associations, personal experiences. You know, Tasha says, you know, that's been her experience.
I think, for some people, just not wanting to be by themselves, just wanting to seem like they're more than what they are, putting on those airs. But then also just a plain old fashioned fat personality flaw. They just get off on lying. They just
Oh,
they just love
oh,
that shit. They just love it.
oh,
They love to read people's reactions when somebody hears something that they say, that they, especially men, expect, because y'all are good at selling the dream.
well, here's what. So it's that you're gonna bring me right to my very next one that she said that. Stay right there. But Aaron says, I know it's a deep rabbit hole.
It
Absolutely.
is.
Which brings me to the next one. You says that we good at it. If we're gonna accept that people lie,
Mm-hmm.
you lie too. I'm talking about us. We
Hell
as
yeah.
people, we lie too. And right where Tasha left it at. So you have to accept another harsh reality is that you lie. It
Mm-hmm.
says big, and this is where it says big lies, white lies, you do it. Beware. However, the bigger your lie, the more likely you are to date someone hiding an even bigger lie. To avoid this, date less and establish intimacy with the few chosen people you want to get to know. That level of comfort will make you more open and honest. How much do you agree with that, Tasha?
I don't know. I don't know. And maybe I'm jaded. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, because I do think that I I tend to believe that sometimes the people that you get closest to, they lie to you too. But they do it under the guise of wanting to spare your feelings, or just not wanting to tell you, or just it didn't seem like a big deal, that, like, oh, it was no big deal. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. So.
I like that. Now, I agree with parts of that statement. I wouldn't say I do big lies when I'm meeting somebody because for me, it's not
Mm,
that serious.
yeah.
If you want to say white lies or small lies, yeah, you know, if I'm trying to get the pussy, I'm going to tell, but it's not big lies. I'm not going to go into an elaborate, deep story because the reality is for me, you know, I've kind of hedging my bets. Anybody who knows me, that I'm not going to even be going out with the person if I don't have a reasonable expectation that she likes me, she's attracted to me, and I can fuck. Otherwise, what am I doing there? I don't, you know, I'm not a gambling man, and I'm damn sure not gonna gamble with my dick. So I ain't gonna be just out there feeling like I have no shot. I don't date out of my stratosphere, so to speak. You, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna be out with a woman that is way, way, way out of my league, or however that might be, with with me taking that long shot. I don't have that kind of energy to expel, so I'm not gonna do that. Now, in terms of little lies, yeah. Now it says establishing intimacy with a few chosen people. That's where again I don't necessarily agree with that part. With me, I have a very small circle of friends, as Tasha knows, and she's the same way. So with my friends, and if I establish that, then you know me. I don't have
Mhm.
a reason to lie. You know all of my faults, just about my flaws. I can let my guard down. The truth of it is, my lies are built to protect me. They're my defense mechanism because, again, to answer your other question, Aaron, about the rabbit hole, I have a failed marriage and a few serious broken relationships. And I choose never to put myself in that position again to get hurt that deep. So my lies are built to protect me and protect my heart, you know. But again, it's not big lies. Like I've never felt the need to, as a man, yeah, Tasha, you right. We tell those lies because, but then a lot of women prefer, that's the other part though. A lot of women prefer to live inside of a really good lie to the story of the lady you were talking about. You know what I'm saying? That some people, they want to believe. And when I was out there, here was a remarkable part. Me telling the truth ended relationships. They liked me less. I truly found that in some ways, no, I won't even say lies. Actually, I take that back. And I was brutally honest in some ways, but not a good person. So that's different. That's different. I didn't treat them the best, but they loved it more. But actually, when I think about it, I was more brutally honest in a way. But again, sometimes women, they want to live inside of, I know he's not a good man, but I can change him. I can fix him. But that's something different. That's something different. Vernon Speaks Sports. Welcome, Vernon. He says, can we get an example of the type of lies? Well, the type of lies that I'm going to tell, again, with Meet Their Representative, is, when I was out of town, my thing is, no, I'm not involved with somebody if I was. So what kind of work do you do? Well, I'm a director at Walmart. I don't want this bitch knowing where I really work. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where, well, I'm the manager of Toys R Us, and here this bitch comes strolling in one day to check me out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. So my lies is again built to protect me in a sense that I'm not going to let you. Now, if you're women being what they are now, if you do your due diligence, it wouldn't be that hard to find out about a man, but I'm going to tell you what you expect. You walk in and you see this picture, and I have home court advantage. It's a lie. Everything you see is designed to get your musty drawers off. So those are the lies I'm talking about, Vernon. Those are the lies. Carol says some people cannot handle the truth. It's not what they want to hear. The real estate insider says, sup, Vernon Speaks. And then Vernon says, bingo. So that's the kind of lies I tell. So Tasha, for you, what kind of lies do you tell?
I'm withholding. Mine is more lies of omission. I am skilled in a way that I can skip over a question. Like you may notice it or not, but I have a way of just turning it back around to get you to talk. So I'm very withholding.
I love it. I love your answer. So lies aren't always just outright. Sometimes they're covert, in different ways. What's going on, sis?
What's up, brother? Hi, Tasha.
Yeah.
What's going on, Sherry?
Good to see you. So you coming in, and again, we're just talking about harsh truths that we have to face in modern day dating, which brings me to the next one. This one is texting. Texting means you're low on the priority list. I'm gonna read this, and Sherry and Tasha, tell me what you think about this, and the viewers as well. Texting has possibly changed modern dating for the worse. It builds fantasies, false hope, and misunderstandings that complicate communication. It's meaningful to hear your lover's voice on the other line. The ebb, flows, and hesitations tell you much more about their mood, personality, and what's really on their mind. Agree or disagree?
I don't know. I don't know. That's difficult for, I would really say it depends on the generation, because there are some, and I'm guilty of it as a millennial, I talk to people all day long. The last thing that I'm thinking about sometimes is talking to additional people after. So sometimes the best way to speak with me is to text me, just to see if I'm in the mood, then maybe I can call you. But I think texting is appropriate because you're kind of testing the waters, seeing, are they free? Are they available? Now I may not hold a full conversation with you by text message, but I think that is, I don't think it's necessarily fair to say that you're low on the priority list, because people are busy or they're doing just what they want to do. So,
Okay. I don't disagree with anything you say. What do you think, Sherry? Do you
Well,
think texting means you're low on the priority list?
um, I like I said, I agree with what you read because like Tasha said, I think it's the age range because some I'd rather talk to a person on the phone.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, for me, some of they abbreviate everything. I don't understand all these fucking three letters and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I don't.
Sister, I guess I agree with you. Even though I guess I understand it for the most part. Now, if they introduce something new, quite naturally, always coming up with new terms. But like my sis, look, I'm a middle-aged guy, so I don't always keep up with what's going on. But to your point, Tasha, it is situational. It is very situational when it comes to that.
mhm.
If I'm dealing with a woman that's over 35, I agree with this. I agree with this. Even though, Tasha, your point is accurate that they may be busy, but I feel like, and from my experience, a grown, older woman the type that I deal with, we're going to get I do need to hear the ebb, the flows, we're going to communicate directly because of even what you said. That person is typically busy. They have other responsibilities. So look, hey, let's do this, that, blah, 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 blah. My experience has been with women that typically younger. It's amazing that they can't communicate something verbally that they want
Mhm.
to say via texting. To Sherry's point, you get the eggplant emojis and this, that, and the other. I can literally have women that will text to death about let's do this, that, and the other. And when it's 15 minutes more than texting, now I call, she doesn't answer. Or if she does answer, hey, what's going on? And you know what you get in that moment? Nothing. And you're like, wait a minute, just fucking 5 minutes ago, you was indicating you want to suck some dick. Now what is it? So so I do feel like that kind of puts me on low on the priority list, and especially with younger women, I think they have, again, let me see what's up, because they always have something else waiting in the wings. That, to your point, Tasha, maybe they're testing the waters. Let me line up all of my options first, and then so at least I've got this person on hold. I don't like being on texting hold with somebody. And even just the waiting, honestly, Tasha, for the responses, it pisses me off. Carol says texting hides the person's feelings. You can't tell what a person is feeling from a text. I could say I'm chilling at home and be somewhere else. Absolutely. She says, I agree, Sherry, with WTH. What the hell are you saying? So
I be forgetting Tasha. Tasha, I be forgetting you got an old soul.
I do.
So I be texting you saying, Tasha, what is this? Because I do it to Jairus all the time. I don't know what that just means.
absolutely.
I be forgetting Tasha.
So let's go on to another harsh truth that we have to face about modern dating, which is people got issues. Now, before I even read this one, how much do you agree with that? That this is something we need to accept going into it, that people have issues.
What kind of issues are we talking about?
Okay. Because I think it could be, I can think it, I was going to say in general, but I'll read it then. No one's going to come cookie cutter clean. Everyone has had a bad or dark side, whether they admit it or not. Just hope you meet the person who knows what his or her dark side is, because they will most likely have compassion when you show yours. Everyone you date is a teacher. If you think this way, no relationship is wasted. What is that knocking?
The little girl next door.
Oh, tell that retarded bitch to sit down.
See, see, she has issues. But to this point though, when people have issues, yes. Now That is true. There is not anyone that's not going to come with their own set of baggage. And as much as you may not, as much as you may say it, and as much as you may not want to, people tend to bring that baggage into, like those relationships. No matter the amount of time that they may take to heal, if they're really doing the, like the healing, they're still going to have either some sort, maybe some form of like PTSD from the previous relationship, whether it be from lying, whatever it is, cheating, whatever it is, they're gonna bring that with them. So that now this, yes, I do think though, like you do have a scale though of how much I'm willing to accept of said issues and which
Right.
issues that okay I can deal with that or I can't deal with that. But I do think now people do get in trouble with trying to find someone who doesn't have issues. Just find somebody who has issues on the level that you're willing to deal with
I
issues.
love it. I love
Okay.
it. Love. I agree. Sis, what do you say about this one? That we need to face the harsh reality and truth that people got issues.
Yeah, just Tisha, Tasha, you're right. People just got you gotta just know what limits you want to be dealing with. The
Hmm.
people issues because everybody doing, and especially honestly in New York, people got issues, and not to say nowhere else. I'm saying they got attitudes on top with issues, and so it's double.
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest reason why I choose to be alone, because I accept that not only do people have issues, I got baggage. And for a long time, I used to say, "Oh, I don't have any baggage." And I used to say that because there was a time when, oh, I'm single and I make good money and I got this and I don't have any little crumb snatchers running around that a woman have to deal with. I'm an educated man, this, that, and the other. But as I've gotten older, all that might be true, but I got a lot of issues. I have
Hmm.
a lot of things that have shaped and molded me into this person you see in front of you, for better or for worse. And so I know I can only take people in small doses, and I can only imagine how they could. No, the truth of the matter is, you wouldn't want me full time around you. It's a lot. That's a lot of work to ask somebody to put up with my fat ass in a long term setting, to live under the same roof with me, with all of my quirks and idiosyncrasies, and so I accept that about myself. And when I was younger and I was really out there dating, I've even been the victim of this for real, about when somebody have issues, to your point, Tasha, about how much you're willing to take. Because I think when I was younger, I was more willing to go down that road with somebody and deal with their issues, whereas now I'm not. It's just too time consuming. And the reality is that now, as I've aged and I'm at this point, when it comes to modern dating, I honestly, sounds so callous, but I honestly don't want to hear your whole story, because I got my own. I want to hear the things that's pertinent to how we deal with each other. But in all truthfulness, if you got children, leave them fuckers at home. Don't come over here telling me about what happened with you and your kids today in their school. I've been out of school a long time. I ain't got no crumb snatchers. I don't give a fuck about what happened at their school. Don't even want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about your family and that dynamic. I have very limited time when it comes to dating. So it has to be about us making each other feel well. I have a demanding job. I got a family with different issues. And again, I got my own baggage that when I get off every night, there's shit that I have to do to be happy and whole. So in those few hours I deal with somebody, the reality is I don't want to talk about problems and your generational curses and why are you the way you eat. Look, bring your monkey ass over here. Let's have a few drinks, a few laughs, suck and fuck if we can, and then you go home. You know, Carol says, at least you recognize it. Most don't and won't. They prefer to think everyone else has issues. Nope. I'm Miss Carol. I was never the easiest person to live with. Even as a young married man, marriage was extremely difficult for me because of my issues. I don't like sharing my space. I realized just how selfish I was, even in a relationship. And it was unfair to my wife But I was young and idealistic, so I'm thinking, okay, I can make it work. And then, of course, when you with somebody, and even girlfriends, you feel obligated to tolerate their shit and their mommy and daddy issues and all that. Now that I'm older and I'm on the other side of the time that's left for my fat ass, I want to hear that shit. So Toria says, welcome, Toria. Toria says, hello, everyone. Sorry I can't stay. I'm still at a shelter cooking for tomorrow. I'll catch it. Absolutely. Please catch the show. Thank you, Miss Toria, for
Yeah.
even popping in and say hello. So, yeah, that's for me. People got issues. Let's go on to the next one. Unless you guys got any more comments on that one?
Mm-mm.
All right. We kind of touched on this one a little bit earlier. Another harsh reality is that there are a lot of options. People have a lot of, well, not even say we have a lot of options. And so I guess the best way is always to kind of read these, and then we'll kind of discuss, especially with it being just three of us. From online dating to speed dating, it's easy to feel like modern dating is a full-time job. Don't do everything. Find what best suits your personality. An extrovert may love the nightlife and meeting people out on the town. An introvert may prefer online dating or structured timed format like speed dating. What do you guys say to this? Facing that reality that there are a lot of options.
That's true. And people treat dating like they do fucking Pokemon, like they gotta catch them all. Like you don't have to. And and I think as well, sometimes people confuse their interactions like with those that they're dating, like they get and what I mean by that is sometimes you classify somebody or put somebody in a specific category like romantic interest when really just put them in the friend category, and it's okay. Like you can still cultivate that relationship. Not every person that you're going to date, as we know, I hope everybody knows, is it going to change, is it going to turn into something. And it's okay if you discover that. I just think that we would make better friends than we would a
I
relationship.
love that. Tasha, I love that. I love that take. Sherry, what do you say? What do you want to
I,
add?
no, I agree with everything Tasha said because everything is just not for everybody. Because online dating, it wouldn't be for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
But at the same time, going out and meeting somebody and dating, they just so stupid out this motherfucker. I don't be wanting to be bothered either. So I
I
don't know.
get it. And
If I was
go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going.
if I was single and out trying to date, I have a hard time.
Well, that's the other part though. Like this is saying, you don't have to try everything. You have so many options now. You really can select what works best for you. And that's the thing though. Sometimes people think they have to try everything. Welcome, Hannah. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hey
Hey,
y'all.
Hannah.
Yeah, good to see you,
Hang
sweetie. And so, to your point, Tasha, I love that point that you made about accepting that not everybody fits into your neat little idea of what you expect them to be. Even if you date somebody, sometimes people feel like they have to take it to its conclusion. You don't. If you find that you're not compatible, or this person, look, they are in the friend zone, that's okay. Oh, and another one is sometimes that person is just for fucking, not for emotional intimacy. They're
Mm-hmm.
not. No, and I'm not trying to be weird, but I mean in reality, because I think sometimes, and not just women do this. I think sometimes even men, we do that because she looks really good and she's cute and this, that. So I gotta make her my woman or my girlfriend when how you see her, it might not be how she see you. And so the reality is people have a lot of options. And one of those options may be you're just a friend. And it could be after the greatest sex or date you think that you've had with that person, and they just don't see y'all reaching the mountaintop in the same way. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. You're coming in, Hannah. We're talking about facing some harsh truths, in modern day dating. And the one you came in on is that people have a lot of options. You want to add anything?
I'm at the tail end, so I don't know, but I do know that you can meet somebody anywhere now. Hey,
Yes.
so I mean, what you don't, it's not saying it's harder, but seem like it's harder for people to be more faithful now than before because they like what they see online and they just gotta test it out, even though it's real or fake. I like your filter, so I need to know if it's the real you. And when now I'm here, we might as well get there with the get down. So I feel like it's just everywhere, so it's kind of harder now.
I agree. And we're to your point, Hannah,
Okay.
we I think we've always established that men are visual. Um, that's changing even with women. Women are visual as well now because of the options that you mentioned. The women of to modern day dating, they're not sitting at home waiting on you to pick them up and take them out anywhere. They're not we needing your permission to go out and make their own money. In most cases, they make more money than us. They all have their own everything. And so, even though you might be bringing what you think is everything to the table, guess what? Their eyesight, their vision, and options are being pulled in different directions too. Because, to your point, Hannah, there's guys climbing in their DMs, texting them, reaching them through different means. So people have options, you know. So you have to be prepared that this is the way it is, you know. Let's go to another one now. I want to get through as many as I can. There were 16 of them. You will pay dearly for someone else's childhood trauma. Wow. So this one I think takes on a little bit of a darker turn. I want to read this again. If there's unresolved childhood trauma, be prepared for dating to be quite tumultuous. If you experience an adult child who is acting as if they are stuck on 6 instead of 36 because he has not progressed emotionally from what has happened, take a step back. Establish boundaries early. It is your job to protect yourself. So, how real is this for you as women? I'm the only guy on this panel that you will pay dearly for someone else's childhood trauma.
1,000% true. Okay, these mother effers be wanting mother. They be wanting their mom. Ain't your mammy. Like you want their mother. They want even the way you think. And what I know this gonna sound bad. But it's options. You can have therapy. Back in the day, they used to say the devil made me. That's the devil. It's not the devil. You need to see a therapist or get some medicine. At what point do we cut off and stop blaming childhood trauma for our adulthood when we can actually deal with it ourselves? And I think
Mm,
the problem is people don't want to deal with it. Like, yes, we all have trauma. If I lived from the stuff I went through as a child, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. But
mm.
I dealt with it. And I feel like some people don't want to be accountable for the mess ups they do in their adulthood. So the easiest scapegoat is to, oh, this happened when I was a child. This happened when I was a child. But now you're an adult. So when are you going to decide to take control of your life and stop living in the childish ways?
I agree 1,000%. Sis, what do you say?
I agree, and you're right. I'm me myself. I'm not the easiest person to really get along with in a relationship because as growing up for me, I deal with it, but I've been balked orders and and it tend to come out in me a lot as dealing with people, but I try to catch myself. So yeah, that's true.
I love it. And for those who will faithfully watch the show, you've been successful in finding just that person who's able to deal with you and you deal with them.
Mm.
And that's been the important part about it. Vernon says you can't blame childhood, super scapegoat. Interesting take. Tasha, what do you feel about this one?
Yeah. When we were just, a few points ago, when we were talking about people coming with issues,
Hmm.
this is a big one that's coming, that comes up a lot now. But now I do agree with Vernon where he says there that, it is a scapegoat. It is in some instances. It truly is because some people, maybe it was just that tumultuous, like their upbringing was. But in that case, if it was that just traumatic, why are you dating and unleashing that crazy on the rest of us? Okay, keep keep that shit contained to you, between you and a wall for a while, okay? But I do think that um for some people though, like as far as like childhood trauma, it's unresolved or it's still ongoing because they're still trapped in some of those cycles. There, we've discussed on the show the relationships between men and women where you have that the narcissistic mother, or like
Yeah.
the mom and the son, and that bond there that sometimes is just like that line that just never gets erased. It's just always there. That apron string that never got cut. It's just always there, and it is frustrating. It is, and it does cause a lot of discord. What we're seeing now with relationships between like men and women, where some people do think that you're supposed to treat them as if they are like your mother or your parent, or they're trying to fix something or trying to maintain something because they've always had to do it. Now I will say this because I want to be just a little bit, I don't know, I feel like being a bitch right now.
Oh my lord.
So let me say it like this. I think for me, when I hear modern women give the analogy of wanting a man to be a provider and things like that, some women, it's a fine line between you're looking for either a daddy or you're
Mhm.
looking for a husband. It's a fine line.
Okay.
And some women, to me, when they give you like their breakdown, to me it sounds like you're looking for a father. You're not looking for a husband. So
I love it. I love it. I want to acknowledge a couple of comments here. Carol says, if I dwelled on my trauma, I'd be effed up.
ain't that the truth?
Agreed.
And
Being
Vernon
a
came back
jacket.
and says, our culture is good at digging up reasons for dysfunctional behavior. I
Mhm.
definitely think we're good at it, but I think, Vernon, we're also just as good as ignoring it as well, pretending it doesn't exist and not calling it what it is. Because that's, I forget who mentioned it, Hannah mentioned it, especially in African American culture, sometimes it's taken as a sign of weakness if we go get psychological help, if
Mm,
we seek outside help, especially for men that, you know what, I'm just going to deal with it because it's a sign of weakness to say that I'm still dealing with some shit in my past. And so I think we're just as guilty, Vernon, at pretending it doesn't exist. A comedian said it, Chris Rock, before, take some Robitussin and go lay down and it'll go away. And so the sentiment behind that is that some kind of way it's just going to resolve itself all on its own, when in reality, it may never go away. Now, here's the other part I want to comment on. How do we define trauma? Because sometimes when we think of trauma, we think of it mostly in the context of the example that was given, for example, of a man child that won't grow up and a guy got, these issues and whatnot. But sometimes, for me anyway, when I look at this, that you will pay dearly for someone else's childhood. In modern day dating, there's just as much dysfunction, even on the women's side of it. We produce generations in modern day dating where women don't cook, they don't clean, they don't want a man to take the lead. Now, we could sit here and debate about whether he should or should not, but there is a whole generation out there that you're not going to lead me no matter what. And so the last part of that comment is that you owe it to yourself to protect yourself. This is where, for me, I agree with this. It's that you will pay dearly for someone else's childhood trauma. This is why I said in the beginning that for me, I don't have that kind of energy at this stage of my life to give somebody, to Tasha's point earlier, that you're bringing that level of baggage because I can't wait for you to figure it out. Not if I'm dating a grown woman. If we're just fucking, I might be willing to overlook that because you're not going to bring it to my doorstep anyway. I don't want to hear that shit. But if we're trying to go to the next level in a relationship and you still haven't resolved certain things and you haven't learned how to cook, pay bills, be responsible, be what I consider a woman in my life, I can't wait for you to catch up. When I was 21 and got married, I married somebody that went straight from having a room in their mama's house to being a wife. So I realized I had to be patient and allow her to grow into the role of a wife and running a home. Would I do that now at 56? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because at this stage, you know, when I look at the age group I'm gonna be dating, shout out to the movie Malcolm X, half my age plus 7. So we're talking about a grown ass woman, and to come into my life at this stage and you haven't mastered the art of running a house, I can't wait on you to catch up. I can't wait on you to catch up to me. So that for me, I have to protect myself and everything that goes into me building this life that I've made, you know, because no, that's not going to work. Carol said, I'm sorry, go ahead, Tasha.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to add one more thing. Another one is abandonment issues that people, and this is relationships, romantic relationships, like with friends. I've noticed like sometimes now, like people just expect you to constantly like be there, constantly be in contact with them, and that's not realistic. Like you're holding on to someone so tight that because you're afraid that their feelings change for you just that rapidly. That please,
haven't all of us had to end friendships for that reason?
yes.
Even friendships, haven't you had to end friendships for that reason, that you've had friends, not necessarily romantic, but the relationship that this person needed you to be tethered to them in ways that no. It's not healthy. It wasn't going to be healthy for you, and you had to get out of it. You know. So I want to go to Carol's story. Carol says, I had issues as a 6-year-old child. Thankfully, my dad recognized it and got me the help I needed. You're one of the fortunate ones. What's going on, Brother Bird? Good to have you, brother. And Carol says, Tasha, abandonment was my issue. Wow. So that's huge. That's huge. Brother Bert, you're coming in, and we're just simply talking about facing some harsh truths in modern day dating, and we're just putting different ones under the microscope. And you come in right for the next one. This is interesting. This one says, you will be disappointed.
Hell yes.
Tasha ain't even letting me.
Hell yes.
She not even let me get to it. You will. This is stating this as a point of fact that we need to face. You will be disappointed. This what's written here says again and again. You disappoint yourself often. How do you expect someone else not to disappoint you? Learn to live with frustration. If you dump everyone who disappoints you, you'll never find anyone. Tasha, speak on it.
Man, let me tell you. This is a big one for me. Like I had to learn very, very quickly, like you're going to be disappointed. Like whatever, I hold myself to like a very, very high standard, you know, much shit as I talk on here. I do. Believe it or not, I do. I do, and I'm so much harder on myself than I think a lot of people, probably are. And I have to remind myself that the things that I'm looking for and my expectations sometimes of people are honestly, it's just too great. It's just too great. So if I keep looking for certain things for them to excel in certain areas, I know now I will be disappointed every fucking time. Every time.
I love the brutal honesty. Bert, my brother, come on in this conversation. What do you think about facing this as a truth that, and I know again, you guys, y'all found each other, but just in general, from your experience, facing the truth that you will be disappointed.
Yeah, I guess the way I'm kind of like the way Tasha is, like, I'm really hard on myself, like extremely, extremely hard on myself. But a lot of times I gotta pull back the reins a little bit. When you're dealing with other folks, you can't be so harsh. So I always got to be reminded that I have to always look at it from a different lens. You know what I'm saying? You can't be too judgmental and you can't be too hard, because everybody, like Tasha was saying, I'm just piggybacking a little bit. Like, they might not be looking at you like that, even though you're viewing yourself like that. You also got to reciprocate that. You can't be so hard on the other person too, because of the fact that you don't know the things they've been through or what they're trying to work themselves out of. So yeah, you will be somewhat disappointed, but you can't go so hard in the paint over it because of the fact that you know yourself, you're not perfect either, and you're trying to work it out yourself. So basically, you got to be a person. Basically, what I'm basically trying to say is you got to be a person that you can live with yourself, and if you can live with yourself, then that person, the right person, will come along, and they'll be able to mix well with you because of the fact that you already at a place where, you know what I'm saying, where you can be a better person for yourself. You can live with yourself. You know, that way that person can come into your life and kind of complete that process for you.
Absolutely. Sister Hannah, anything you want to add?
No, because I'm a jerk, so I don't even want to add.
Hey, this is the platform. If you want to add, go for it.
I'm just about to say like a jerk. I mean, I am now the part of hurt yourself. I am like I'm my worst critic. I am. I think that's why I feel like I don't want to be disappointed. So if I find out I'm about to be disappointed, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably like a jerk move.
I don't think so. That's my personal opinion. No.
Yeah, like I feel like you can choose.
You deserve the standard you set.
Yeah, you can choose to stay with disappointment or just be like someone out there is not going to disappoint me.
Gotcha.
Like, can I say one more thing? It depends on what the disappointment is.
That's what I wanted. I want your wife to get to the point to see. Yeah, when you're saying that you out, there's levels to this thing, you know. And so, yeah, you don't have a perfect husband, but he's not going to. You chose somebody that's not disappointing you on the shit that matters.
Now that's true. Because anything can be a discipline, like if something goes right within your day. But that's yeah.
So that's what I want to say. That's not jerk, but that's just saying no. This is my standard.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be this tall to get on this ride. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna drop your standard. If you like, okay, you could say, well, I want a man that's at least 6 feet tall. And if you meet a fantastic guy and he's 5'10", you might be willing to concede those 2 inches.
Yes.
But if you like a man that's at least 6 feet tall and some fucker shows up and he's 5'4", that come on now. You're gonna be like, I'm just saying, but I'm using it as an example that you might say, you know, I once stopped dating somebody. She was fine, but she was just too fucking short. Super fine. But I felt ashamed being in public with her.
Oh.
How short was she?
What is it? 4'2", some shit like that.
Oh.
And I felt like, and this is when I was young and sexy. This is when I was young, when I was actually 6 feet tall, you know, and I was physically fit and had an athletic body, and we would go out in public to places, and I'm walking in with this person. I felt like people were looking at me like I was a pedophile or some shit, you know.
Yeah. They were.
And I couldn't shake it. So I couldn't shake it, and so the relationship was confined to just house fucking because I didn't want to be public.
Wait.
House fucking.
Not we broke up.
No, she was fine. Had a killer body. Right. So the fucking was good. Huh?
She was 4'2".
Yeah, real short. Real short. And for me, I couldn't get past that. It was me. I couldn't get past it. I was just using height as an example, but I couldn't get past it. Like, super fine, pussy was good, all that, you know, pussy was good and clean. Wow. But you know, I couldn't get past it.
Move along.
Sis, what do you want to say about you will be disappointed?
Yeah, it's been covered. You're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna disappoint people. Just deal with it.
Absolutely. And one of the ways I've dealt with it is I've had to adjust my standard. Now, again, not so extreme, but I've had to adjust my standard. When I moved to Atlanta 9 years ago, what I would have been looking for then, I can't look for that now.
Right.
I'm 60 pounds heavier, a diabetic, peeing in a fucking bucket, barely
Please
walking.
stop
peripheral
telling
neuropathy
people
is
that.
most-
All the time.
Told you about the bucket.
Stop that.
I'm
This bucket.
highlighting real shit that I go through, but I wasn't peeing in the bucket back then. When I moved to Atlanta, a nigga was drinking liquor like a fish every night. I could still run, play a little basketball. So my standard was up to here, you know, and I knew exactly what I was looking for. Well, here we are, 60, 80 pounds heavier, missing teeth and some more shit, all these health issues.
No.
So you think now I'm gonna turn the bitch away because her stomach looked like balled up homework? Hell no. You know, she might have some good pussy underneath there. Now her titties don't have to sit all up. They can be leaning to the side a little bit, as long as they got some kind of definition.
Get your sis, get your brother.
Like, we are not going to be able to find you anybody when you say things like this.
What?
I'm just saying, I've had to accept that if I didn't lower my standard, I was going to be really disappointed because I no longer have the capability of pulling that bitch with a titty sitting up or not unless I won't spend money, and I ain't willing to spend money. So, so you know what I'm saying? The BBLs, it costs money to have them kind of bitches. I can't afford them hoes. So the realistic kind of women that I can afford, she's probably gonna have some shit. She's probably gonna have some missing teeth too. You know?
So you can come,
Welcome.
you come with dental and you can come with dental issues. That's fine.
I'm just keeping it. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on, Derek? I'm very
Why you never
realistic.
chill?
I'm just being very realistic. So otherwise, I'm gonna be very supremely disappointed. And that's another reason why I put the bitch out of here by 3 o'clock. If I look at that bitch in the clear light of daylight, then I'm really gonna be disappointed. I need for you to come over 10, 11 o'clock when you got your makeup just right. You know, that pussy is smelling at its best because you spend it overnight and you're sleeping and farting and shit like that. And your smell is a little different in the morning than it is at night. And you got matter in your eyes, your breath stink. I don't need to see that kind of thing. I need to see you in that light. So otherwise, I'm gonna be disappointed.
No, you stupid.
So you don't want to see the true.
I don't need the truth.
You want to see the fakeness.
I'm perfectly comfortable living inside the lie.
Okay. Hey, all right. That's real.
Miss Carol, I'm okay with living inside the lie. Let me live in my fantasy world. Don't stay at the ball until the clock strikes 12. Bitch, get on up out of here.
What the?
I want to date Cinderella, not the bitch that was cleaning up for the
No, that's unrealistic. Just unrealistic.
You just say put that glass slipper back on.
I ain't got a mind, you know.
No
okay, I'm just saying. Another harsh truth that we have to face is you will have to change. I just spoke eloquently about that for me. That I.
No, you will have to. This isn't the final form. You have to change. Read that again. You will have to change.
Put the bucket away. Good.
Right. Put the bucket up.
the bucket away. Throw it out.
Put it in the bathroom.
That bucket allows me to get a peaceful night's sleep. The amount of time I would have to be getting up, going to the bathroom,
Get up.
it's convenient. It's just convenient. Carol says, sounds like you want a Stepford wife. I would be perfectly okay with that. And again, I don't need to see how the sausage is made, Miss Carol. That's fine.
We gonna start a GoFundMe for one of them robots for you. That's what we gonna do. We gonna start a GoFundMe. A few thousand, probably.
Yeah,
probably for the model that he needs.
3,500. They're still around at 3,500.
You priced it?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, 3,500. And so I figure a couple of more Christmases when they come down to about $2,000. It's like, remember when big screen TVs first came out? You had to wait for the price to drop a little bit. You know, when the models that I'm looking at, when them bitches, because they're gonna make the newer models. See, I'm gonna buy my bitch the way people buy iPhones. I buy the free phone. When I trade in this phone in another month or so, I ain't gonna get the current Galaxy. I get give me the free one. I don't have to put no money down. I don't give a damn about that they on iPhone 11. If I was to give an iPhone, give me iPhone 3. Just that the bitch works.
So you on iBitch 3. That's what you want. On the
Right.
payment
By the
plan.
time I buy my bitch, they're gonna be on the more advanced models. Mine ain't gotta talk. She just gotta have some lips that work. That's it.
See,
You know what?
I'm just saying, you know. So
Yeah.
that thing is going to electrocute your ass as soon as you put your dick in it.
And will.
That thing is gonna be standing on the side of the bed, just like looking at
What's that thing called? Megan or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. Just gonna be standing there looking at him.
She gonna walk out the door. She gonna be sick of it.
Oh my God. I think for this one, we're going to skip over because I think it's pretty obvious that I might have to change ultimately and face that reality. What about this one, though? You are not the only one they are dating.
I refuse.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting, Tasha. So for you, this one is something that for you, there's a zero barrier, that you are not accepting this as a reality, that you're not the only one that they're dating.
No. I better be the only one that you're dating.
Oh, does every woman on this panel feel the same way?
Yeah.
Black.
Black. Look in the camera.
You could wait twice, 3, 4 times.
My brother, don't you say nothing on this one.
There
you go.
You and Black gonna be getting robots together.
Right. Exactly.
Play if you want, nigga.
My brother, you're a smart man. Don't you comment on that one.
I remember when I met Bert, I had like 6 or 7 on the roster. And
I know that this one certainly it speaks for women, because even Miss Carol says, I know that's right.
Like, don't play with me.
I'm accepting it if I'm not the only one.
Play with me.
And again, Bert, don't you comment on this one.
I know that's right, Tasha.
For me, I'm okay with accepting I am not the only one that this person is dating. You know, Miss Carol about said the GoFundMe for a fully functional blow up dog.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm okay. In all seriousness, again, I'm at that stage where I'm being serious as a heart attack. I'm not even ready to be all she needs me to be. I don't even want that pressure.
Okay.
You know, now, could that change if I get healthier and I don't mean physically in my physical health, but I mean healthy all around. I might feel, and it depends on who I meet. But at this stage, if we're just talking about modern dating, I don't even look at it with the expectation that I have to be the only person she's dating. I'm okay with that. Now, that don't mean bring me something, you know. You know what I'm saying? And again, I have those 3 simple rules that I would expect, you know, to fuck somebody on my level, don't get caught, and don't bring me anything. So no, you can't show up here and you sucking my dick and I do the scratch and sniff test and your pussy smell like one thing then another, you know, where I can tell that all kinds of different soldiers from different backgrounds been up in that snatch. No, we're not gonna go there, you know. So you still gotta need to keep that snapper clean. It can smell like fish, just fresh caught fish, not 3-day-old fish.
Smell like no fish.
Saying that it does not need to smell like fish.
I'm just saying it can smell a little fishy. I don't mind, but I'm just saying.
Day-old, nothing.
Ain't nothing wrong with little salmon.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little salmon. Ain't nothing wrong with a little salmon.
Tell it to the doctor. That's BV, okay? Tell it to the doctor.
What?
Hey, Black, let me ask you this. If she meets all the points, all the criteria that you got set, would you be willing to make that change?
That's
She
a hard.
checks
That's
off
that's
everything. She hit all the check marks.
that would be asking an awful lot. And the answer to that is this: I would have to cross that bridge, Bert, when I got to it. And this is the pessimism in me.
I got it.
And I mean it's in all seriousness. So some of this is joking. The reason why I consider you guys my favorite couple is because not that y'all are a perfect couple, but I like your story, how you found each other, how you navigated to get to this place, and the little peaks we've been allowed to look into who you are. The one thing that stands out to me, and me and Tasha had this conversation just last night. It's so rare to find people that actually like each other. Forget the love part. That actually like each other. And sometimes we forget when the love died, you're not going to love each other every day. Michelle Obama talks about her relationship with Barack Obama, and everybody was, their relationship goes, and she kept it funky. She was like, I don't give a damn that this was the president of the United States. In many ways, he was a failing husband at times, but I still loved him, and because I like him enough to let him deal with that. You know, and she famously talks about there was years where she didn't like him. And so to watch you guys, of course we don't know, the full ins and outs, but when you guys show up here week after week, and we've been knowing you for years now, it's so rare to see two people that actually like each other and are working and pulling in the same direction to build something. Because guess what, Postons? I know way too many couples that are just roommates. Tasha,
not roommates.
Speak on it.
Yeah. No, that is so. That's true. Yeah, and that's being so kind with the use of roommate. Honestly,
really,
that's being very, very generous. I
They
like
get together for financial, nothing else.
pretty much,
Okay.
and because it looks better to stay together and to be able to have that title than it is for them to be individual. Because honestly, they couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it.
Tasha and I, we would tell people, living single, we make this shit look easier. It's hard.
I know that's right.
It's not.
It's hard living alone.
I know it is.
And we're not talking about loneliness. That's what everybody want to jump to. The first thing they want to talk about.
We talk about
I can speak for her on this. We're not lonely people. That's not what we're talking about. Because again, she could have somebody laying up on her. That's not where, we're not talking about that. But when you have those standards and you do value a relationship, so to answer your question, Brother Bert, even if I found somebody, it would take so much for me to give up this because I love living alone genuinely. And so I know too many people that they couldn't do what we do. They couldn't get up every day and make it happen on their own. And so they stay within a safe confines of a marriage or a relationship because, to Tasha's point, it looks good. And far too many of them, they're on social media and they love the attention. Oh, girl, you married. Oh, this, that, and the other. When if you know them, in some cases, they're not even attracted to each other.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Real. Yeah.
I mean, when I was still my first marriage, I could see how that can, because when I tell you, I worked, and I was working in New York. I always lived in Philly. I would ask this, like, if I can cover something else just to not come home, which is scary. And then when I would come home, I was the roommate. And that's not a good way to live. Like, when I tell you, I would fall asleep in the kids' room before I even wanted, on purpose, like not even accident. And I felt like when I eventually left and I was single, that was more peaceful than being in a distressful household. Like when you single and I'm with y'all say you lonely. That's not lonely. You know yourself. And it's like, sometimes it's a peaceful feeling when you just by yourself versus And what the Bible say, rather live on a roof than in a house with a corson woman.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something you don't. I think that's worse and detrimental in the end. Staying in an unhappy marriage versus.
I agree 1,000%. But how many people don't think that way? And I'm gonna stay for the kids, this, that, and the other. And how many guys, folks, that really don't want to be in the house with a woman alone? So every waking hour that they're there, they got their friends. They're playing video games. And how many guys get off work and they don't go straight home? You know what I'm saying? Because they have to get themselves together before they walk in that house.
I firmly believe behind financial and real estate that work from home went away because CEOs do and higher ups honestly do not like their wives, or they don't like their husbands, they don't like their families. And when COVID first hit, they were forced into a situation where they were around this person all the time, and they realized very quickly, I hate your motherfucking guts.
You know how
Okay.
many divorces came out of COVID?
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
And so now we're all being punished. No.
I agree. And that's why, again, to Carol's point, there's a big difference in being alone and being lonely.
Yes.
I'm alone, but for the most part, I love my life. Don't get it, all the stuff I talk about, but I've got my routines down that allows me to be me every day. And so, Bert, it would take a truly special woman for me to give up this again, because even at my best, it was hard being in a relationship to share things. When I wasn't even in a marriage and even a relationship, I still needed that space because I'm a very selfish person. And to get to the stage of my life, I recognize it even more so.
Right.
You know, and the most ideal thing I could hope for, if you asking me, is to find someone that has their own place and don't want to move at their place either, and we can be great partners and go places and travel and get together from time to time and have dinner and share that part of it. But in a way, I would want a woman that covets her singleness as much as so that we don't have to feel like we're hurting each other's feelings. If she says, well, no, you know, I'll probably see you next week or what, and that wouldn't hurt my feelings. And I don't want to hurt her feelings by saying, you know, I don't feel like I want to have to feel like I got to call her every day and I want you here every day. I'd be okay with that. You know,
would you like it to be like somebody that like long distance, like out of state? More?
Absolutely open to a long distance relationship.
Yeah,
because that would allow me to, when I see them, to miss them and to plan and treat them special, knowing that they're gonna go away. Okay. And I know that don't sound politically correct to say it that way.
It does, though.
You know,
but it does.
Okay.
I don't know, like if you've seen or if you've been seeing it or not, but there's been, you know, like a major rise, especially like with millennials and different things, and they're telling you how they are doing marriages different, or they're doing relationships different, and a lot of them are opting to do like you just described, to live in separate households. Some are opting to live separately in separate cities. Or, you know, if they are, you know, together, then they're choosing to be in separate bedrooms, but to be able to have the autonomy to be themselves and to miss that person, but still have like your own designated space. So I do think that's going to be like a nice increase as we see definitely on the landscape of the changes in relationships. I think that that's going to be something major that is going to become the norm. I do.
I love it, Dan. I love it. And I'm here for it.
I'm listening to you guys, right? And I'm saying to myself, you know, because I always been with my husband from young, so I'm listening. I wish I could be single for like a year to see how it feels.
Right.
And you might have to sell some pussy, suck some dick.
I don't know about that, Dodger.
Never know.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And Tasha and I, we have this conversation.
She always down there. She just not as far as Lee.
Oh, Sherry a beast. Sherry a beast in this
No, she
game.
said, Bert said, Tasha, you went down the rabbit hole too. I
Oh,
I'm just saying,
but what's crazy is Tasha and I talk about this all the time,
said,
and it's getting harder and harder to live alone. We work from home. We both work from home,
Yeah.
and it's getting harder and harder to maintain the quality of life that we've carved out for ourselves to be able to do it alone. And so it's not easy. It really is not easy, you know. In the interest of time, I'm sorry, go ahead. No, please.
I was going to ask Tasha, are you like, would you, the same model that I was giving Black as far as like a long distance, would that better suit you? Or would you want that person to be in state?
I would still prefer the person to be in state. I mean, definitely in state, definitely in the same city. You know, like we don't necessarily have to live together. Like we can still maintain separate households. Or if we do decide to live together, it's got to be a nice, big, spacious place so that we can still, you know,
So you have
get up off me a little bit, you know, go to your room.
Right. You know, I get it.
Space matters.
Right.
I
Yeah.
get it.
Space matters.
But you got to remember from me, I don't even like to cuddle. So you got to remember that. I don't like to cuddle. So even if that person came on the weekends, I could make it through a weekend knowing I'm not going to sleep very well, but I'd be willing to sacrifice lack of sleep knowing that it's a weekend or a trip. You know, if they came for a week or something, knowing that it has an end period. But to do it as my norm, I like sleeping alone. I don't want anybody in the bed with me. I like having my own space, you know.
Who doesn't like to cuddle?
We gonna get a discount on that robot. It ain't even gotta have arms, okay?
We're gonna request it at this point.
But
I don't even like noise. This fucker above me. I have all these little things that it's difficult for me, you know.
Who doesn't like to cuddle?
I don't like to cuddle.
Yeah.
I've never liked to cuddle.
Cuddling is good and bad. Like I don't think cuddling is a problem, but I don't like when people should sleep cuddling. Like that's crazy.
Okay, so at least I get a little bit of her on my side.
Yeah,
so to that point, okay. So let me clarify. If we're just laying up watching a movie or something, we're fully wide awoke, you know, or you know, it's a part of the foreplay leading up to the foreplay. Yeah, but I'm saying once you finish doing all the shit you're doing, I don't want somebody right underneath me, you know.
I mean, I get that, but I'm just saying because I don't like feet. Don't put your feet on me. So I get it.
You know, so that's what. But again, I just like sleeping in the bed alone. You know, and I like a big king size bed. And I always used to wonder when I watch TV shows, why do a married couple have a little ass bed? You know, like a full size bed, like they. Two grown ass people in a bed where you ain't got enough space to stretch out. I don't get it.
Because it's TV. That's why.
No, but even when you go in people's houses, I always wonder why if you are a couple, I just, you know, why don't everybody have a king size bed so you got plenty of space? But then I realized too that it doesn't matter how big the bed is. You can have a bed the size of Shaq. The woman is still gonna be right over on fucking your side.
It ain't always the woman now. Sometimes.
No, you're right. So Tasha, you're right. So for that matter, these new ace men, not only do they want to be cuddled up, half of them want to turn their back and arch their back too. Cause shit.
Oh no.
No, see, you could have stuck with being the little spoon. You didn't have to make it nasty, Black. That was unnecessary.
It's a lot more men that
you have to make it.
There's a lot more dudes out there who we want to admit that they want to be cuddled and they want to be the cut part where they want their ass heiced up against somebody.
It's two different things.
You know,
like shoot the booty now.
Right?
Come on.
I'll just say it. In the interest of time, I'm gonna run through some more of these because you can, and anybody who's wanted, you're welcome to see this article. I'll be glad to send it to you. But it had a great list. But some of the other issues it talked about facing its harsh truths were, you know, Your issues will magnify and scare people away eventually.
Yeah.
This one says, stop being perfect.
Because
Yeah.
Trying,
none
okay?
of us is like perfect at all.
Unconditional love is earned, not automatic.
That's
That
true.
part.
You will never fully know someone.
That's right.
That
That's
Read
that.
Petita. She didn't
You
know
know,
Legion, okay? She didn't
you
know
know.
it.
Yeah.
I only learned about this last night. If you aren't a top priority, your invitation to spend time together will be a maybe.
Woo.
I told you to watch it with me.
I don't know.
People.
The
The
girl.
person who cares less has all the power.
Okay,
Wait,
hold
what
on.
you say?
Hold on. The person that cares less has all the power. But do they? But
So okay, go there. Go there.
I'm saying, but do
We got
they?
about 8 minutes.
But do they? Like, to me, like, okay, you just, number one, why is it something that you would ever even quantify? Like, qualify. Like, why would you even try to measure that? But I don't know. I think in terms of dating, not just like
Right, right.
casualness, that there's no way that you can be with someone, like, in that capacity, and care least, and it doesn't affect you the same. I'm sorry, I just disagree with that. I just don't think
Okay.
that that's the
Well, let me
case.
read this. And again, I would love to hear y'all opinion on this. This is difficult. This is difficult when you are head over heels for someone. After a few months of dating, you care a lot. You want the other person to know. Forget it. It makes you appear less valuable. That's what this says. So Tasha disagrees with that. I see you thinking about this one, Bert. And Hannah and Sherry, what do you think? The person who cares less has all the power.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
No,
I'll let you go, Sherry.
no, I'm just saying because I mean, no, I don't think that. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Because if you care less, I mean, or you I don't know. I just that just doesn't sound good.
Okay.
Because
Bert in deep thought. And I think I know why you're in deep thought, but okay.
I, I
Hannah.
I don't agree. I do not think that just because you care less, you have power. Because you can psych yourself out thinking you can care less because you're not in touch with your emotions. So it serves more of a weakness than more of a powerful. So I don't believe because you don't care, you have more power. Because the person that
So let me stop you real quick. It's not saying you don't care. It's just
don't
saying the
care
person
less.
who
Sorry. The
cares
person that cares
less.
less. I don't believe you have that type of power. Because who's to say that you care? We can't know what the other individual is thinking or knowing just because they express it. Some people say act like they care more, but can give less than a. So I feel like you can't really pinpoint you have more power or not based on who cares less or who cares more.
Okay.
I just
For your answer, Bert, I want to read this again because there's a part in there that speaks to me. It says this is difficult when you are head over heels for someone. After a few months of dating, you care a lot. So it's not saying you don't care. You want the other person to know. Forget it. It makes you appear less valuable. Bert, what do you think about this one?
All right. Here we go. I actually understand what that's being said because I think everybody's looking at the power thing and all, and it's really a mental thing. It's really an emotional thing. And it's really like you're not saying that you don't care for the person. You're not putting yourself all the way out there. So you're kind of restricting yourself a little bit.
That's
As
how
far as
I'm
what your
understanding it.
emotions and what your feelings and what you're going to do. So it's almost like you're controlling yourself. You're giving out whatever you care about that person is given out in doses, but not in huge doses. So you're kind of like you're still restricting yourself, You still care about the person, but you're not willing to go give the appearance of going all out.
He used the right word. And that's how I'm processing it. Not that I disagree with you, Hannah and Tasha and Sherry, but it's the wording that I'm connecting to.
Right.
It's literally acknowledging that you care a lot, but it's saying, and you want them to know this, because the natural part of progression is I'm excited and I want to tell this person, oh my God, how much you mean to me. It says, forget it. It makes you appear less valuable. And so I'm processing it from the appearance of the person, how they may see you. Because I do think sometimes when you push all your chips in and you go all in, it's been amazing in my experience. What did I say at the top of the show, Tasha? That when I was out there dating and I was an absolute asshole, I was loved. I was coveted. I was the most attractive thing. They were willing to do things. Then the moment you kind of drop your guard a little bit and, hey, I'm feeling you, it's amazing how the interest now starts to wane. And when I want to break up with somebody, it's, hey, now, let's take this to the next level. And so from that perspective, I agree with it from the appearance of it in terms of how much you're willing to show. Because I think instinctively people see it as a weakness.
Right.
And we all know from the beginning of time, women like the bad boys. They like the bad guys. You wonder why a woman is staying with somebody who treats her like shit, because he doesn't seem to care as much. And then a guy that's willing to do everything for her, she don't want him. So it's about, for me, reading that, protecting my heart, my mind, that I'm not willing to go on. You're going to have to show me first you all in before I'm willing to meet you there. So to Bert's point, I'm going to hold back some because I need to know definitively you all the way in this shit with me too before I go there. And that's the only reason why I say I agree with it in that sense.
Yeah.
I agree with it.
I was looking at, yeah.
You know, Tasha's popping back in. Here we go. So anyway, that's, which goes hand in hand, with the last one. I'll share really quickly. People want people other people want. Let me say that again. People want people other people want. And we need to face the harsh reality that in modern dating, people want people other people want.
Well, you wouldn't want to be with a man that nobody else don't want.
Or woman. And that's why, but I'm glad you said that. So why then do people think that when they get with somebody that all of a sudden now you become insecure because I don't like the way you can't wear that dress. You can't show your abs and, you showing too much of yourself. And I'm not saying that's a license to let people go out and show everything. But again, to your point, Sherry, who in a right mind will want somebody that nobody else wants?
You ain't got
exactly.
Don't try to flex real quick.
Yeah, but by that, then by saying that though, like people will always want people. Like there's someone out there for everybody. So, I mean, that just kind of like leaves it open. Like still seems like it's an excuse.
I get you. I feel you. I agree with it in the sense that, let me read this real quick. It says it's human nature. The whole law of scarcity thing. Don't make yourself too available or an oversharer, what we just finished talking about. Let the other person set the pace until you both find balance. It's only natural for her to feel you slipping away and want back in. And I can say that vice, and I can say that it just says her, but that's why I'm saying vice versa. It's only natural. I could have just made it generic. It's only natural to let the person feel you slipping away and want back in. A lot of people, when they think they're going to lose something, then they value it more, because that old expression, you don't miss the water till the well run dry. So I know too many situations where the woman has cheated on a good man with me. And you sitting there, you won't say this, but you're thinking you're driving a car, beautiful car that he's paying the note. He's got you in a house that you don't want for anything. and you on your knees sucking my dick. Why? Now, I'm not going to tell you to stop, but in my mind, I'm thinking, why are you out here cheating when this man loves the ground you walk on? And if the same can be said on the other side around, you know, that the other flip side of it, you can have a guy that worships the, you know, the ground that the woman walks on. And I used to say this about women friends of mine. You come over to take a whole bath in my place, and I'm watching them get dressed, and they put on the matching panties and bra. What's the place that they used to shop at? Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret. And spray the little smell good, all in the spots, this, that, and the other. But then when you get ready to go back home, you put on your bloomer drawers and your unmatching bra. You know, you're giving. But you're talking about how bad a man you got, but you're willing to give the best of yourself, you know, to the guy that's treating you like shit.
Well, wouldn't you have something smart to say if somebody that you just started fucking with came over and they bloomer draws and they
no, I wouldn't care, long as the drawers are clean. For me, long as the drawers are clean, it wouldn't matter to me, honestly, because the kind of women I deal with, they want you to literally snatch them musty drawers off anyway, and not in a nice way. I can't tell you how many drawers I done tore up.
Your drawers?
Yeah, but
literally snatched them drawers off of them.
What?
That's them bloomers.
I wish the hell
I'll tell y'all a short story as I end. I'll tell y'all a short story. Let me tell y'all, let me tell you a short story before I end. My partner, who watches the show, one of his baby mamas came over to my apartment one day. And to this day, she's the one that got away. I showed her way too much respect. She was over there for about 5 hours, came over early in the morning. I was in a little shitty little apartment where actually my mattress was on the floor.
Is this someone's baby mom you about to live the story with?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not do that?
So she's over there.
Say it.
And we're drinking. It's early in the morning. We're drinking, we're talking, we laughing, and the conversation is sexual. But I had way too much respect for her. And 3-4 hours go by. It gets to be the afternoon, and she says, well, you know, I guess I'm getting ready to go, blah, blah, blah. You know, and my dumb ass, I'm waiting on whatever the sign should be to wave me on in. Anyway, she leaves. My partner calls me. He said, partner, what happened? You know, I'm like, look, man, she left. He said, partner, let me tell you what she told me. She said she was waiting on you to snatch them drawers off of her.
His baby mom?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, he wasn't dealing with her no more.
Wow.
No, they still was dealing together, but he was gonna share that pussy with me. You know. So shout out. I know you'll see this show, and you know it is what it is. But anyway,
don't say no names. Don't be blowing them up 30 years later. Don't do that.
But anyway, I was pissed. Because I never got her over again, and she's the one that got away. Now, I've learned to live with it because how she looked now, she ain't worth fucking. But back then, she was worth fucking. But she was back then, you know, fat old pumping ass, big old country titties, big old catfish mouth.
Lord help us.
Wait, what makes them country titties? What makes them country?
Country titties and city titties is two different things.
What's the difference?
You know?
The way they sit, the way they lean, what makes them?
Oh, absolutely. Big old country titties got weight to them. They're more rounder with a big fat nipple around them. You know, them city titties are more skinny with pointed tips. Them bitches is stuck up just like their noses. But you know, she had them big old country titties, a fat old corn-fed ass, and a big catfish mouth. Kind of a lot of wide teeth. But now she wasn't ugly, but she had some wide teeth, a real big mouth, you know. Shout out to you, baby. I love you.
You got a show. You got a show. Stop laughing.
I think
Master,
it's time to end
Master
the
Prophet,
show.
you know what I'm talking about. Pray for me, Master Prophet. He say he prefer no panties or drawers.
Not no. Dang, they can't have options.
We don't even need to do a formal ending. Just end the live right now. End it right now.
Good night.
We don't
Shit.
need to talk about nothing else. That's it.
This is crazy.
Tasha has given the cue to end the show.
End
So-
it. Click the button. We don't need
I
to
done
click
seen
the button.
Tasha, he acting up.
Honey, I done seen it all, hon.
I will never forget this one.
Like what?
Not the country and the city ones. I won't forget this.
Hey, this has been my take on harsh truths we have to face in modern day dating. Tasha say,
Because Bert,
there's nothing left to say.
Don't say
Bert-
nothing else. Just get off the computer.
Bert, you hear me? You hear me,
What you
Bert?
say, sis?
I said, you hear me? I done seen some stuff I was whispering about. This nigga had a room set up with a camera on the stand. I had to be like, what the fuck is Roddy doing?
And it's the one that got away. She got away. But I tell you what, I never made that mistake ever again. And that's why I don't care if they have on bloomers, cause now you put yourself in my preview. I snatched them musty drawers off.
Oh my Lord.
That's rape. You're a raper. You're a raper.
Why is we snatching drawers off?
You know, just shut it down. Just shut down the whole computer. Just shut it
This
down.
has been another edition of Real Talk. Please join us again next Wednesday, but we'll be airing on Saturday, and we got something fun planned for you. I hope you've enjoyed. Master Prophet said, grab a bite.
You know what?
Yes.
You and Master Prophet can log off together.
Pray for me, Master Prophet Levi T. Pray for me, my brother. I'll see you guys on the other side. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope to see you on Saturday. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Real Talk for Real Men and subscribe to TFG Ratchet for more ratchet moments with Lee Black. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy
Good
your
night,
night.
y'all.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Jesus.
Oh.